So, chat, I've talked for a long time now about how the Republicans are fucking evil, that they are demons, that they are fucking monsters, and that they have no souls. And that there's just not a shred. They're anti-good things and pro-bad things, and that's just what they are. And obviously, when I say that, I'm being very, 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 very ironic, right? Like most conservatives out there are just misled, and one day they're probably going to be fans of mine. A lot of the conservatives out there watching Andrew Tate, a lot of them watching The Quartering, a lot of them being dumb fucks on the right now on the internet. They're going to grow out of it, and they're going to be watching lefty content in the next few years. So I can't really be too mad about it. The people lying and shilling propaganda to them, though, and the right-wing leaders that get elected and, engage in horrible human rights abuses, they are demons, and I am not being ironic there. They are fucking evil. This story is going to be a modern example that, assuming it doesn't get buried by history, by the Republicans, will be looked back on as a horrific racist political stunt on the scale of, almost on the scale of when they brought, fire hoses out to, attack civil rights protesters with. The level of abhorrent, obvious evil in it is on tier with that, is what we're about to see. I simply feel misled. Migrants flown to Martha's Vineyard speak out. DeSantis vows to keep relocating migrants. For those of you who are unaware, I herald from a dark, dank, disgusting, evil land. A land whose name I shall not utter here, but whose mark I think you all know. That's the one. I shall not utter its name here. Not such a shadowy place. A dark place it is that I hail from. My cat is screaming. A dark place that I hail from, my lovely chatters. And that place is currently run by some of the most evil, demonic people you can possibly imagine. One of those people is Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is, without a doubt, the biggest Trump wannabe in American politics right now. Ron DeSantis is a fucking ghoul, a fucking goblin. Now, let me tell you, I did not think that anybody could be worse than Rick Scott. Rick Scott is who came before Ron DeSantis. I didn't think anyone could be worse than Rick Scott, the way he gutted local climate protections and all of that, and just how awful he was just generally as a Republican governor. Ron DeSantis is worse. Ron DeSantis just blows it out of the fucking park. Easily. It's not even a contest or a joke. It's just a fucking joke. He blows it out of the park. Ron DeSantis really wants to be Trump, and he is very anti-immigration. Now, obviously, Florida does get a lot of immigration, legal and illegal immigration. So Ron DeSantis, I feel like paraphrasing it in my own words will not do the evil of this story justice. I just have to read the article to you guys. I'm reading this from notorious left-wing communist news outlet USA Today. After dozens of migrants arrived in Martha's Vineyard near Cape Cod, some described the grueling journey to the U.S. and feeling of uncertainty after becoming part of a national spectacle. Huh. What is this? Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida took credit for flying the group of about 50 to the liberal enclave. It's like a little island community that you have to get to via either plane or ferry. Island enclave, part of an escalating battle between Republican governors and the White House over immigration. So there is a place called Martha's Vineyard. It is a super snooty island coastal elite, like fucking paradise off the coast of Massachusetts. It's where all the rich Democrat types off the coast of Massachusetts live. Liberal enclave, yeah. It's not like working class blue voters live there. It's more like corporate Dems live there, is what it is. So, with that said, Governor Ron DeSantis thought that it would be a really funny political sketch, or a really funny political move, to get 50 migrants together, tell them that the place that they are being sent to is offering them food, jobs, and shelter, and education, when they are not, under false pretenses, and to send them there with no warning, which would naturally mean a horrible, experience for these migrants, which is, these people are demons, which is what they want to happen. These children and these fucking people that just want to have a good, better life. Yeah, just use them and send them through the fucking ringer for a political stunt. Completely, totally normal behavior. Absolutely in line with what Republicans like to do. But what they knew was going to happen was the fulfillment of what they see as a very common liberal stereotype. You see, Republicans have no ability to actually defend the fact that they are against good things and in favor of bad things. So what they've decided is to basically say that, well, actually, the left isn't in favor of good things either. You see, these left white liberals might be against racism, but they live in a gated community that's mostly white. Gotcha, racism is okay. And it's like, what? How does that prove your point? It doesn't. It doesn't prove any point. But proving hypocrisy alone seems like a good argument to very stupid people. And that's what this is going to look like to a lot of these people, hypocrisy. Because when these migrants arrived at Martha's Vineyard, they were, of course, met by surprise, in some cases, I imagine, light hostility, and a whole lot of confusion. Now, funnily enough, this is the funny thing, migrants sent to Martha's Vineyard say that they were duped by a woman named Perla who paid them $200 and promised a better life in Massachusetts. Though the funny thing is, so obviously that they paid them $200 and said, you'll have a better life there. That's where you're going. And that's the story that breaks down what they told these migrants and what they were being told they were going to get when they went there. But here's the funny thing that just kind of really fucks up the story from their perspective. The people that live there are actually setting up tables and giving out water and food and masks and stuff like that, and doing what they can within their with supply these migrants that were just shipped to their neighborhood with with stuff that would help them. But it doesn't matter, because the fact they aren't going to be supplied with jobs and housing and whatnot is the entire point the Republicans want to make. Oh, you think immigration is so good? Then let them live in your driveway. And if you're not okay with them living in your driveway or in your guest room, then racism is okay, and we were right all along. Fucking got 'em. That is their entire argument. And the people that they are appealing to are stupid enough to actually go with it. And for that to be a good enough argument to compel them to agree. Now that ought to be frightening, my friends. Now, here is what is very, very, very upsetting. Ron DeSantis has vowed that he will continue to do this. Yeah. I there's really nothing else to say about it. He's a demon. Ron DeSantis has vowed that he will continue to do this. He is going to continue to lie to migrants and fly them out of his state to liberal states and liberal communities under the false pretenses of having, shelter and safe haven. Honestly, it's a lot like Reagan. Remember when, Reagan shut down all of the mental health institutions and then, shipped all of the mentally ill homeless people to liberal states, literally repeating that, hey, I've seen this one before. I've seen this one before. And hey, guess what? 10, 20 years from now, when the effects of this make these blue states look bad, the Republicans will use it against these blue states, as they already are now. Republicans create all of their own victimization and all of the evidence they have to, like, argue against their opposition, they made up. They manufactured it. They literally have to make up scenarios of liberals denying immigrants shelter for their points, and it didn't even happen. They were still met with food, water, and masks. And yet Ron DeSantis has vowed he will keep doing this. Absolutely fucking demonic. I really don't want to make this segment long. The longer I make this segment, the less likely people are to watch the whole thing, and there's not much that I can really say. All I can really do is get the word out there about this, is that Ron DeSantis is a fucking monster, and as long as he is in control of Florida, it is not a safe state to be a minority. Simple as. Anyway, if somehow you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. It is not a hollow show of support. It really does help out my channel. It really does send more people to my content. More viewers means more, more people potentially being brought over to my side, brought over to the left, brought over from the right. And, I figure that's a good thing, so hit that like button. You can also potentially subscribe and ring the bell icon to see more from me whenever I go live or upload a new video, because YouTube will not tell you if I do not do that. You can also follow my social medias, linked down below in the description, including my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and my fan Discord. And of course, if you want to support me more, more directly, you can come to my website, xanderhall.com/live, and support me in the form of a donation, a gifted sub, or even a subscription for yourself. But you can also support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, and yeah, that's it. With all that said, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.